Esteemed members of the Executive Committee of ESNA, honorable members of Edo Nurses Association, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You can see I sound a bit croaky. The devil is a liar. I'm in Nigeria, I'm blaming the devil. I was traveling throughout Europe last week, I didn't rest. But now I want to blame the devil. Good evening. That was lukewarm. That's better. Good evening. My name is Ekata. When I was told to talk about integrity, I said, how much time do they have? But I'm going to keep my remarks to about 5 to 6 minutes. Because if brevity is important, or you will lose your audience, right? So please pardon my voice, it's a little croaky. For you to have integrity, first you have to be honest. For you to be honest, you have to tell the truth. They all are intertwined. I'll tell you a story. What started me and gave me a moral compass to learn to tell the truth was when I was about 11 or 12 in Idia College. We came back from a long vacation and we arrived late. And so the school gate was locked and they asked us to stay outside. Behold, the gate man came. Poor old man, struck illiterate. He gave us a piece of paper and he said, write your names for all the latecomers. We started writing Michael Jackson, Venus de Bailo, Lolo Fuze, Asaka Lobito. There was no name we didn't write because the poor man can't tell the difference. We felt very good. We had dodged the bullet. He said, come on in. We went in and we went to our dorms. The next day in General Assembly, my principal, Ms. Howard, she called some names and she said, these are the latecomers from the vacation. And so the rest of us who didn't write our true names, we were feeling very good. We said, look at this SU. They wrote their real names. Now they have announced them in the General Assembly. What we did not know is that the house mistress had already taken the role. And so those that they called their names in assembly, they were the good ones, they were free. We cut grass for 1 week. Don't think about that. Our hands were bruised and bloodied. That taught me a lesson, and I figured out going forward, whether someone is there to observe you or not, tell the truth. Tell the truth. It's stressful when you lie because you have to remember what lie you told to cover it up. So let's go back. Honesty. Honesty means to tell the truth or to be true and be committed to it. Integrity is a match between what you say and what you do. So if you are saying the truth, that's honesty. And then you do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. You have integrity. What is your reputation? Are you the type of nurse that when a nurse comes on duty and they have to take report from you, they say, oh no. Are you the nurse that the doctor comes? You know, we all work with doctors and we know they can be challenging sometimes. But every doctor will tell you, ignore your nurse at your own peril. Because they realize that nurses contribute so much. But if you are the type of nurse that we cannot take your word at face value, then who is going to rely on you? Your team members will not, the doctors will not. Are you the nurse who goes into a patient's room and you promise them heaven and earth? Don't worry, tomorrow I'll bring you this and I'll do that and I'll do. and you walk away and you never go back. So whether you have integrity or not, your reputation precedes you. Work on it. It's not easy. You can't be perfect all of the time. But if you strive for perfection and you fall short, that's still livable, right? Okay. So let me do some key examples. Assessments. Assessments in nursing. Are you the nurse who is too lazy to eyeball a patient, to spend a few minutes to ask a patient a few questions? You simply click, and follow the last nurse. And then when there's a problem, they trace it back to all the nurses who took care of that patient. Come to find out 7 shifts in a row, all the nurses missed a key assessment. Assessment is the most important aspect of nursing, in my opinion. Because if you do not assess a patient correctly, you cannot draw up an accurate care plan or comprehensive care plan, and everything goes downhill from there. Okay? Assessments. Do your own assessment. Be proud of your work. I'm too cocky to copy somebody's assessment because I think I know better than that person. So I'm not going to copy your assessment. I'm just not. Okay? When you relate to doctors, even if you make a mistake, you develop integrity when you say to the doctor, I'm sorry, or, oh, that was an oversight. Don't try to, anytime you explain something too much round and round, you know what that signifies? You drop the ball. So make it simple on yourself, all right? Let me give some key ways to develop integrity. If you have formed a habit of telling lies, this is going to require a lot of work. The first step to developing integrity is to use your pause button. Can anybody show me where the pause button is on the body? Where is the pause button? Anybody? Pause, not pause, not pause. P-A-U-S-E. Where is the pause button on the body? Your mouth. Pause, quiet down. Think before you speak. Whether it's to a patient, the family, the doctor, or even your team members. Learn to use the pause button. I have to practice this quite a bit because I have a tendency to jump off the deep end. Okay? The other thing you want to ask yourself, the second thing apart from pushing the pause button, what you're about to say, is it true? 3 questions you ask yourself. Is it true? Is it useful? Is it kind? You might say something that is true but it's not useful. You might say something that is true and useful but it's not kind. And the final step in trying to develop integrity, make sure your words match your actions. So if you tell a patient, I'm going to come see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. If for any reason you cannot keep that appointment, go back and explain why. Don't just say, oh, well, I was too busy. Your word should count for something. So please develop a reputation where people can hold you at your word. Patient outcomes are also better when you have a nurse that has integrity. Nurses can depend on, other nurses can depend on you, physicians can depend on you. Okay? So far, how are we doing? We're doing good? Okay. I think I may just have covered everything. Sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather, but I said I will show up today. I think I've covered it. So whether in patient assessments, whether you're relating to other team members, whether you're relating to physicians, in many other situations, I don't want to go into honor code very briefly, 30 seconds. Honor code is When you think nobody's watching you, then an example, for instance, you don't know their cameras, and you start talking. And then, of course, they put the camera, and there you are. So please live your life as if somebody's watching you all the time. Thank you.
Sweet, but your love is sweeter. So follow juice mixed with a little ginger. Oh girl, I wanna be with you, but you know they got enough time for.
Wow, I told you guys, only the best, only the best. Thank you so much. I just want to throw this in. Please, if